meeting on Zoom also we continued during the lockdown, and now we have again started physical meeting with all the COVID precautions. Over to you, Bestie.
Good evening, everyone, and warm welcome to the 15th webinar of Baseen Christian Business Association, an initiative of Baseen Christian Foundation. We had 14 online knowledge sharing sessions through Zoom application so far, which we started during the lockdown period. Before we commence the proceedings, a gentle request to all of you to keep your surroundings on silent mode and then move to a better internet zone. BCBA म्हणजे एका चळवळीचा प्रवास, ख्रिश्चन उद्योजक आणि व्यावसायिकांचा एका स्वप्नाचा उपलब्ध संसाधनांचा वापर करून आपल्या समुदायासाठी उद्योजकता कौशल्य तयार करणे आणि एकमेकांची वाढ करणे, पारदर्शकता, वचनबद्धता, उत्कृष्टता आणि विश्वास या तत्वांवर. We are delighted to inform you that BCBA, an initiative of Baseen Christian Foundation, is the largest association of Christian business fraternity in Vasai, working for creating self-employment opportunities within Vasai-Virar region. Though the membership is restricted to Christian business persons, the benefit is open to the society in form of education, self-employment opportunities, etc. To begin with prayer, I request Herman to lead us.
आपण प्रार्थना करूया. हे प्रेमळ पित्या, आम्हा वसईतील सर्व ख्रिश्चन व्यावसायिकांना बसीन ख्रिश्चन बिझनेस असोसिएशनच्या नावाने एकत्रित केल्याबद्दल आम्ही तुझे आभार मानतो. आमच्या असोसिएशनच्या पदाधिकाऱ्यांना तू दूरदृष्टी आणि कृपा दे. त्यांना आलेल्या संकटावर मात करून सभासदांना चांगल्या तऱ्हेने मार्गदर्शन व प्रेरणा द्यावी म्हणून तुझी विशेष कृपा दे. हे प्रभू येशू, तुझ्या नावाने सभासदांनी ख्रिस्ती मूल्यानुसार एकजुटीने एकमेकांसाठी व्यावसायिक संधी निर्माण करून मदत करावी व व्यावसायिक समृद्धी बरोबरच आमची आध्यात्मिक प्रगती व्हावी म्हणून तुझी विशेष कृपा आम्हास दे. हे पवित्र आत्म्या, आमच्या भावी पिढीतील मुलांना आम्ही आदर्श बनावेत. आमच्या व्यावसायिक कार्याद्वारे वसईची व सर्व सभासदांची उत्तरोत्तर प्रगती व्हावी अशी प्रार्थना आम्ही तुझकडे करतो. हे आमच्या स्वर्गीय बापा, तुझे नाव पवित्र मानले जावो, तुझे राज्य हो, जसे स्वर्गात तसेच पृथ्वीवरही तुझी इच्छेप्रमाणे हो. आमची दररोजची भाकर तू आज आम्हास दे. जसे आम्ही आमच्या अपराध करणाऱ्यांना क्षमा करतो, तसेच तूही आमच्या अपराधांची क्षमा कर. आम्हाला मोहात पुढे देऊ नकोस, पण वाईटापासून आम्हाला सोडव. आमेन.
Now I request Diana Sattam to give us a brief introduction of BCBA.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to introduce BCBA today. BCBA was founded and commenced working in September 2016. It is registered for charitable purpose under the Societies Registration Act. The main objective of BCBA is to unite Christian business persons and to create possibilities for monthly networking meetings for members. Till date, we have conducted 52 meetings. Currently, we have 300 plus registered members. Registration is possible online at www.bcba.co.in. We have facilities for members such as webinars, members presentation, stalls, discounts, and sense of belonging. Over to you, Bestie. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Diana. And now I request our founder member, Nilesh Menezes, to give a background of today's registration. This helps participants as well as our esteemed speaker to understand and direct the session accordingly.
Thank you, Bestie. So overall, we have 85 registrations, out of which 29% are professionals. They constitute 25 registrations. Then about 1/4 registrations who are into business. Then we have 9 participants as teachers or professors. And then we have 31 participants as others who are into employment, or they are student, or they are retired from the service. So that constitutes about 85 registrations. Now, when talking about members, we have Harman D'Souza from Harman Homes, Nilesh Menezes from NM Consulting, that's myself, Samson Gomes from SJ Designs, we have David Pius, Bestie, Dinah Satam, Colin Sequera, Braun Dabre. These are also into working committee. Then we have members who have registered and participating in today's meeting. We have Addison Amita Clevers all the way from Estonia in Europe. We have Daniel Dissa, Emerald Sequera, Godson, Gregory, Hilary D'Souza, Jocelyn Nunes, Linus Dilima, Nilas Dabre, Paul Brito, Ripson Pereira, Ronnie Fernandez, Velankani Lopez, Zubia Dabro, and Xavier D'Souza. From guests, so आपण जसं बोलतो अतिथी देवो भव, so guestला आम्ही विसरू शकत नाही, तर त्यांनी देखील participate केलेला आहे. So instead of taking their names, what we have done is we have segregated their organizations into 3 categories. On the left hand side, those who are with background in educational institutions. So we have participants from Bahusaheb Vartak Polytechnic, District Institute of Education and Continuous Professional Development, IES College of Architecture, Narsi Monji Institute of Management Studies from Sophia College, St. Francis Institute of Art and Design, St. Joseph College, Virar, University of Mumbai, and James Education. Then we have participants from private organizations, very large private organizations, Adani Electricity, FCB Ulka Advertising, SDFC, IBM, Invesco Mutual Funds, Morgan Stanley, Still Solutions India, Tech Mahindra, Alchemy Gulf, and Video India. At the same time, we have participants who are associated with medium and small scale industries. This includes Ideas Unlimited, Karuna MEP Service, Career Resource Management, Neil Consultancy Services, OK Life Care, Schumberger, VSK Architects, Wellworth Share and Stockbroking, a few participants from architecture and advocate firm, and Amazon Interiors. Over to you, Best.
That's a wonderful variety of participants, and we are so excited for today's session. To introduce our esteemed speaker, I invite Colin Sequera, a working committee member. Colin?
Yeah, thank you, Bestie. I'm honored to introduce Mr. Yogesh Bambardekar, who is currently working as Additional General Manager, BSC Investors Protection Fund. He has conducted numerous investor awareness seminars to educate investors across Maharashtra and India. He also has 24 years of varied experience in BSC, wherein he has handled research, surveillance, broker inspection, and investor grievance redressal functions. He has been known for his in-depth knowledge of capital markets, including equity markets, mutual funds, and banking, among other trades. Over to you, Bestie.
Thanks a lot, Colin. Over to you, Yogesh sir. We are ready and excited for the session today.
Sir, तुम्ही म्यूट वर आहेत, अनम्यूट करा. सर, मी तुमचा फक्त एक मिनिट घेऊ इच्छितो बिफोर वी स्टार्ट द सेशन. आपलं बोलणं झालं होतं, एक ओपिनियन पोल आहे, कदाचित त्याच्याने जस्ट तुम्हाला बॅकग्राऊंड ऑफ पार्टिसिपेंट्स समजण्यासाठी मदत होईल. So we have one opinion poll, investment in equities. So here it is. We have just 1 minute in hand to go for it. what is your exposure level to investments in shares or mutual funds at the moment? तुमची शेअर्स आणि म्युच्युअल फंड ह्याच्यामध्ये इन्व्हेस्टमेंट सध्या किती आहे? सगळी इन्व्हेस्टमेंट तुमची म्युच्युअल फंड आणि शेअर्स मध्ये आहे, किंवा रिजनेबली हाय पोर्शन आहे, किंवा मीडियम पोर्शन आहे, किंवा सिग्निफिकंटली लो आहे, किंवा अजिबात काहीच इन्व्हेस्टमेंट नाही? शेवटची 10 सेकंद आहेत. सो तुम्ही एखादा ऑप्शन चूज केला तर बरं पडेल. 65% वोटिंग झालेली आहे सो फार. एनिवे आपण आता एंड करतोय. आणि सर हे रिझल्ट्स आहेत.
Okay, so medium is the medium and low, very low. So 46% are saying medium.
Correct.
While 31% are saying very low.
Yes. So that's where they are here to hear from you.
Yeah, 15% are saying high. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. It is very, very. First thing, I thank Nilesh Menezes, who has, who was instrumental in organizing this webinar, and all the other members of the Kaseen Christian Business Association. And I will start my session. My presentation is shared now, or I need to share it again.
So you will have to share screen, sir.
Okay, one second.
Yeah, you can share your screens.
Do you want us to do it, sir, for you?
No. I will share. Yeah, it has come, na?
Absolutely.
Can you? Yeah. So I will just start.
So you can click on the slideshow.
So
yeah,
that is better.
And current slide.
Yeah. So basically, we are savers country. India is savers country, and basically nobody should tell us about saving, because we already know how to save. Only problem comes when it comes to investment. We need to invest. For generating income, for creating asset, or even creating wealth. So this should be our objective as far as investment is concerned. If we just save, okay, if you just save and keep that money, it will lose its value. Okay, why it will lose its value, I will come to that. But it will not remain the same. So that is the reason why we should invest and we should generate very good return. Now, before that, we should understand certain concepts. The first thing is risk. Risk is very important concept. People sometimes get carried away with the risk. Sometimes they just blindly ignore the risk. Okay, most of the time we just ignore the risk. But this is very, very important concept. And there is other thing is reward, which we want. Reward is basically the return. So risk and return, both are very important things. Both are related. The more you take the risk, more reward you will get. Okay. More you take the risk, more reward you will get. If you take less risk, you will get less reward. Simple example is even for fixed income securities, fixed income where you get fixed income. In that also you will find that if you keep money in nationalized bank, risk is almost nothing. So reward is also very low. You can get only 5-6% return. If you keep in private bank, like ICICI Bank or something. So in that case, you will get some more return. You may get more return, but risk is slightly higher. If you keep money in cooperative bank, you will get further more return, more interest, but risk is more. If you keep money in cooperative credit society, okay, then in that case risk is more, means it is higher risk, and you will get interest also, you will get more interest. So it is very simple. You can everywhere it is, concept is same. If company is risky, then they will offer more return. So this we should understand, and we should understand our concept also, our ability to take the risk. That is very important. Each individual may have different risk taking ability. So we should understand this, our own ability to absorb or take the risk, and we should also see to it that which instruments are having possess how much risk. So that we should know. Then only we can take the investment decision. Now, next thing is the power of compounding. Now, what is power of compounding? It is actually nothing but our compound interest. It is nothing but our compound interest. But over a period, it gives, I will just move to another slide, which will show you that only 10,000 amount, which is kept for say 30 years, it generates at 10% interest rate, it generates 1,74,000 amount. That amount of 10,000 becomes that much without any further investment. If the same amount is at 15%, interest rate is 15%, then it will become 6,62,000. And if it is at 18%, then it becomes very big amount, 14,33,000. So why it is so? Because simple reason that period is very large. Period is 30 years. So 30 years is a very large period, and that's why you see this big amount. But whether it is actually what you can say, the value of money has risen. In case of 10%, it might have risen slightly, or it may be same. In case of 15%, so that is 6 lakh. In that case, it might have risen to some extent. In case of 18%, if you are getting 18% return, then it will definitely rise the value, not the money. See, value and value of money is very different. The money and value of money. If you can get 100, if you are, you can get one product at 100 rupees today. 1 year after that, if that product is now costing 110, but your money, you have kept money in bank, so you are getting 107 or 108. So you can't buy the product. So your money has grown, but value of money has not grown. Value of money has reduced because you can't now buy that product. So that is of no use in the sense actual how much, what we should get in return. See, there are two ways of earning money, doing business. So you are earning money from business. Some are doing job. So you are earning money from your salaries. Okay. So this is one way of earning. Other way of earning is you are doing hard work. Okay. So you may be expecting that your money should also work hard for you. Okay. So whatever money you have, it should also work hard for you. And when it will be done, when you invest it properly, then your money also will work hard for you, and you don't have to bother about your future. So this is what we should aim at. Now, if I have shown you that compounding table, why everybody is not becoming rich? Why everybody is not becoming wealthy? Because the same amount of that compounding is also there in case of inflation. Inflation is very important aspect we should understand. Whenever you talk about investment, you should understand inflation, because see, I have shown you that 30-year comparison. Now in 30 years, inflation also will rise with the same compounding. Okay. So if inflation is compounding at say 8% or 10%, okay, what is the inflation rate? There are two rates. One is WPI, that is wholesale price index. Other is consumer price index. Consumer price index is always higher than the WPI. WPI is lower because it is wholesale level. And generally what we get, we actually experience this inflation. That is, in fact, even much more than the consumer price index also, CPI. So actually we may be having 10% or something inflation, 9-10% or that kind of inflation rate will be there. And that rate, or when we will create wealth, when we beat that inflation, we beat that inflation rate. So if you earn 12% return and inflation is 10%, then that 2% is the real return, and that will create wealth. When it will create wealth? Over a period, not immediately, because it will take some time to, every year you will be earning some extra percentage which will create wealth, and then you will become wealthy. So it is a process, it will take time. Overnight you can't become rich, even in stock market. So there are certain wrong notions that also I want to correct. So this is the way we should build the corpus and we should get rich. Now it is very difficult. It is very easy to say, okay, you just earn some percent more than the inflation. But in actual practice, if any year, suppose any few years, it is possible that you have to conserve your capital. If you lose your capital at any point, then that will means you will lose all these compounding. So that is also very important. So see, Warren Buffett, okay, he has a company. He is actually one of the richest person in the world, and he has got a company called Berkshire Hathaway, and its share is also quoting in lakhs, more than 3 lakhs rupees price. Now, what he has got two principles. One is, he's saying never lose money. So that is important aspect. And his first principle, never lose money. The second principle, what he is saying is, never forget rule number 1. So ultimately it is never lose your money or capital. That is very important. And then only you can compound. So compounding is worth when you are not losing your money. So this is what I want to tell about the basic investment and the compounding. Now next thing is, I want to just highlight that insurance. What is insurance? Whether insurance is investment, we have some misconception. Insurance is needed. Okay, insurance is needed for the for our life insurance or all various types of insurances are there. But it is actually a separate thing. It is not investment. It is actually, you should take the, as far as insurance is concerned, you should take the term insurance, which with minimum amount you insure maximum maximum amount of insurance you can get in term insurance. So you can go for term insurance as far as insurance is concerned. And there are a lot of other things also in insurance, but I'm not going into insurance, but I'm just telling it is different from investment. So don't both should not be misunderstood, that okay, insurance is, because insurance cannot give you return. Insurance cannot give you more return. So that is one aspect. Now we'll come to asset classes. What are the asset classes? We invest in various kinds of investment. We invest in flats, we invest in equity shares. Gold is very important investment aspect of us, throughout. So, these are all, investment. We invest in company FDs. Company FD is also very, common thing where we invest. So we should know for each of these investments, certain investments like PPF, we do for tax purpose, and there is Sukanya Samruddhi Yojana also is there. So all these things we should know. What are these things? Now, just like one example, like if you want to choose, you should know that PPF is having that interest on PPF, and Sukanya Samruddhi Yojana is tax free. So, not everything is, see, very few interests are tax free. Otherwise, interests are taxable. So we should know which is tax angle is also important. What are the things we should look at? Say, first thing is return that everybody looks at. What things we should look at when you select a particular asset type. So return we know. Other thing is safety. So if you go for say equity or mutual fund, then in that case, your the safety aspect is low, but return aspect will be high. If you go for bank FD, it is opposite. So, as far as liquidity, if you go for say company FD or company NCD, in that case, the liquidity is not there. So that you should know that, in this case, liquidity will not be there. Liquidity is what? What is liquidity? Liquidity is what actually when I can get back my money. If I want immediately I want the money, whether I can get that, in how many days I can get that. So that is liquidity. In case of shares or mutual fund, you can get it within 2-3 days. Okay, so that is the liquidity. In case of bank FD, you can get in 1 or 2 days, because if you go to bank immediately also, you can get the money back. What maximum they can do is they can deduct the 1% interest. Okay, but you will get money. If it is company FD, you will not get it, because that is for particular period. So before that you cannot get. In case of NCD also, you cannot get that money back. In case of say land, etc., flat, etc., also liquidity is very low, because you can't see immediately you want to sell. Can you sell and get money in 4-5 days, 1 week? No. So liquidity is low. If there is a if there are in certain cases lock-in periods are there, so in that case liquidity is not there. Then certain costs are involved as far as certain investments. Suppose you buy gold, then in that case you have to store it. There is storage cost. Okay, so there are other associated costs in case of gold. There may be depreciation. Okay, so all those things are important. Investment size also is very important. I have 1 lakh rupee or 50,000 rupees. I want to invest in flat. Can I invest? No, because I can't get that. Means if I want to invest in flat, then I need very big amount. Then only I can buy flat. So investment size is also very important. If I have 5,000 rupees, I can invest in mutual fund. That is there. So that investment size is also very important. Then certain assets give you periodic return. Like say if you are having shares, you can get dividend as an income. If you have flat, you can get rent as income, in addition to capital gain or whatever capital appreciation. So all those things you need to know. Like in case of shares, the tax aspect is earlier it was the capital gain tax was long-term capital gain tax was exempt. Now it has been there is a 10% tax for long-term. For short-term capital gain, there is a 15% tax. So these things you should know. Other aspect, other change. This is actually from this year. One change is there, that is for dividend. Earlier it was up to 10 lakh dividend was tax free. Okay, up to 10 lakh dividend was tax free. Now from this year, dividend will be it will not be taxed directly, but it will be added to your income. Okay, so there is a change. Earlier it was the dividend was taxed to the companies. So companies used to pay dividend distribution tax. Now they have removed that, and there is a that will be added to your income. So if you are into 30% tax bracket, then you will be paying 30% on your dividend income as tax. But if your tax you are not coming into tax bracket, then in that case that dividend is tax free for you, and company also may give you more dividend because company is not paying now tax. So, all these things we should know before we take the investment decision. So this is very important aspect as far as the taxation is concerned. Various things you should know, that what is taxable, what is not taxable, how tax treatment for each investment is there. So all these things you need to study as far as asset classes are concerned. Which asset class one should buy, it depends on your risk taking ability. Generally, you should not invest only in one asset class. You can invest in mixture of asset classes depending on your total income, your need for that money. If your money is for long term, you can invest in equity or mutual funds, equity mutual funds. If your requirement is for short term, then never go for equity because if you invest and then market goes down, okay, so in that case you may lose money because you have to anyway sell the shares. So that is very important. Now we will come to one comparison I will show you. This is actually a BSE Sensex and gold returns comparison. Right from 1980, this is for almost 40 years comparison. In this, you will find that 10 years, Sensex returns and annualized return of gold. So this is given. If you see this for the last 20 years, gold and Sensex has given similar kind of returns. But earlier to that, Sensex has given much more return. At one particular 10-year period, gold has given lower return. And that's why total returns of gold is around 10%. And total returns of Sensex is around 16%. So, this is the thing. Actually, this is point-to-point kind of return. And this will give you, how much return you can expect from the, equities. This is basically Sensex returns around 16%. But that is also overall. If you see last 10 years, return is around 11%, 10.9, and even gold also 11.70. So, around that. So basically, both these are beating the inflation. In case of Sensex, there is additional part is dividend. So you may get 1.5% every year as a dividend. So, return will be higher to that extent. Now I will come to, I will show you, this is actually yearly returns of, I have given that, okay, Sensex, you can get 16% return, etc. But actually, if you see, the market is very volatile. Nobody can actually predict the market. If I tell you, okay, market will rise, don't, follow me, because nobody can actually predict the market. Nobody is expert here. Even if you see, even foreign, institutions, etc., they also sometimes, predict, and those also go wrong. So, there is nobody can actually predict the market. Market has its own, journey. Of course, you can do one thing. If you see this, table, every year, right from 1979, 80, in 79, Sensex was 100, and it is, in last year, like 1920, that's so March 2020, index has gone down to 29,468. So every year, if you see, there are blue, blue color lines where you see index has risen by more than 30% that in that year. And if you see red lines where index has gone down by more than 20%. So last year only it has gone down by 23.80. So for almost 24%. And from that level, today it's today it has come down to a bit from 50,000 level, but it is around 50,000. Sensex is 50,000 level, and from 30,000 level, if you see, that is 20,000 points. That means on 30,000 points, 20,000 is almost 67%. So index has given almost 67% return from last year March. From this year, it is going to give that much return. So so it is very basically very volatile. If you see, even the index has given even 80% return at one time in 2009-10. So at the same time, in Harshad Mehta, after Harshad Mehta period crash, so it has given even 46% negative return in 1 year. So index is very volatile. You have to this return, what I said, 16% is not kind of you will get every year average return of 15-16%. That will not happen. It is very volatile. Nobody knows actually how much return you can get from the market. So there is no guaranteed kind of thing, guaranteed return, etc. So that we should keep in mind. And you can take the benefit of volatility through SIP. That is one very important thing you can do. Now, what are the things which basically, if you want to invest in equity or company, what we should check, before investing. So this is actually very, basic few things I am giving. There is nothing that, there are not further things we should look at. There are hundreds of things which we should look at in a company as far as investment is concerned. Before we take the decision, but these are basic few fundamental aspects which we can check. And one is promoters. That is very, very important, because just like driver drives the car, the promoter drives the company. So if he is good, if he is integrated, his integrity is good, his other companies are doing well, his stake in the company is good, then he can actually take the company to very good this thing. So basically, promoter is very important, because as far as company success is concerned. Next thing is the industry, okay, to which the company belongs. What is the scope for that industry? Whether growth is there, how much growth that industry has got over in the past, how much is projected in future. What is the competition level? Okay, whether Geo is there in that. So if competition is very high, then naturally the returns will be low. If competition is not there, monopoly is there or duopoly is there, then in that case the returns to it is a good thing for the shareholders' point of view. So all those things we should look at. What is the profitability level? What is whether entry barriers are there? Okay. So all those things you need to check, whether entry barriers to that is there. What is the structure? What is the position of that company? Like say market share. What is market share of the that company? Whether it is having 50% market share or 10% market share. But that also will not decide, because if I am having 50% market share, okay, and that market share is coming down every year, 5%. Every year, 5% coming down. So, whereas the other company is having 10% market share, but it is every year it is growing by 3-4%. So, which company is better? Probably second company will be better, because it is increasing the market share. So, there are hundreds of things. There is a raw material thing. What are the raw material? Whether it is pricing, this, that, lot of things are there. You should, study as much as possible all the fundamental aspects. I am just listing few things. Like there is a financial. This is everybody looks at. Like what is the financial of the company? Like earnings per EPS, that is earning per share, fees, price earning, book value. So all these things you should look at. There are other financial ratios also one should look at. So all those financial parameters one can look at. Free cash flows, because free cash flows, why? Because generally some companies you may find that they are doing very well, they are showing the profit, but they are not distributing dividends. Their valuation is also low because cash flow is not there. Okay, basically profits are stuck at either inventory level, in inventory, or with debtors, or in capital expenditure, etc. So free cash flow is very important, because if they have free cash flow, then you can get dividend, and valuation also will be higher. Why we buy the company? If a company is growing, it means what? Sales are growing. See, growth of the company is what? Growth of sales of that company or turnover of that company. If company's turnover is growing at say 5% and margins are stable, whether we should buy it? Whether we should buy it? The answer is very simple. We should not buy it. Why? Because if growth is 5%, margin is stable, means the profit also will grow at 5%, and we can get 6% risk-free return from the nationalized bank. Then why to go take the risk? So it is very simple. So if the growth is 20%, then in that case, and margins are stable, then in that case we are getting 20% return. We will be getting future. Okay, at least we can expect. So growth is very important, and not the past growth. Okay, you can check for the past growth, but actually the market discounts future. So basically it is how much in future, what will be the growth. Okay, so that is very important. As far as sometimes what happens, past growth is low, but future growth is high. So in that case, market price will jump. In other case, suppose past growth is low, past growth is high, but now company is facing difficult times and growth will be lower. So in that case, the company share price will not move much. So those things we should keep in mind. Dividend is the only thing which we are getting from the company in our hands, because otherwise we are not getting anything from company. So that is very important. So dividend payout and dividend yield, these things we should check. Whether if company is giving dividend, that means company is having free cash flow also. So that also is very important. Debt of the company. This is very, very important, because debt is basically debt is what actually kills the company. Okay, what we have seen, if you see most of the companies who have been referred to NCLT are having very, very high debts, and they could not repay those debts. In fact, they could not even repay the interest also, and that is the reason why these companies were sold off. Very big companies also got sold off and or liquidated, and shareholders actually in such cases didn't get much anything. So you should avoid these the companies which are having high debt level. If debt equity ratio is more than 2, which you can ignore. See, debt is basically leveraging. In good times, if you are having the companies with leverage, that is high debt, it may give more return, because it has got borrowed capital on which it has to give return, but business is getting more return. But in cases like COVID times, etc., what is happening? Your business is down. Most business is not down; it is stopped. So what you will you have to pay the interest, and you have to return the debt also. So how you will do it? So naturally you will close down ultimately. So debt is very risky, and if it is zero debt, that is very good. But so debt we should check for the company. If it should be low, or it should not be there, and you can avoid those companies with high debt. Corporate governance is also very important, because you may find that companies with a bad corporate governance track will be also quoting lower valuations. And valuation of the company is very important, because we are actually not buying the company, we are buying the business. So that is very important. At what price we are buying. So that is very important aspect. Now, if we can't get these things, we can't study. This requires study and so in that case we can go for the mutual fund. Okay, we can't directly invest in the market, and we can't invest in stock market. Then we can go for mutual fund. That is a very good thing, because mutual funds are governed by SEBI, and they are, there are around 40-50 mutual fund houses, and each mutual fund is house is having various schemes. So that way you can invest in mutual fund. We don't have to bother about the investment aspect as far as investment into equity. These things mutual fund managers will do. Whether they will do it for free? No, they charge. How much they charge? Maximum is 2.5%. Okay, every year, of course, every year, and that is called what? Expense ratio. Okay, that is called expense ratio. I will come to that. What are the benefits of mutual funds? One is it is actually high returns, etc. Over long term, you can invest, and there is a liquidity at NAV price value. So in case of mutual fund, you get the units, and the NAV is what actually is you can look at. It goes up when market goes up, the NAV goes up. If market goes down, NAV will come down. So this units into NAV is your value of investment. And what are the advantages? Low investment size is advantage. You can invest with even 500 rupees, 5,000 rupees. Risk is minimized. This is very, very important aspect of mutual fund investment, that risk is minimized. Nobody can actually eliminate the risk. Risk can be minimized, or you can minimize it through diversification. Diversification means instead of buying one share, one company share, you can buy 50 company shares. So there will be, if one company goes down, okay, the other companies will do well. So that is diversification. Various types of mutual funds are there which you can choose from. Periodic investment you can do through that. SIPs and SWPs. SIP is basically systematic investment plan, which you can take. So every month you can take, or every period, whatever, every week, every quarter, etc. Also you can choose. There is systematic withdrawal facility also. Those retired persons also, they can do this. Systematic, it is opposite of systematic investment. You can withdraw systematically. So every month you want, say, 10,000 rupees from that particular mutual fund scheme. So automatically your bank account will get credited with that. That many units will be sold, and that you will get that much every month. So those kind of facilities you can. There is STP also, systematic transfer. You can keep your money in one liquid fund, and you can transfer it to equity fund periodically, like say every month, etc. Why? Because if you invest, say, if you want to invest 1 lakh, if you invest 1 lakh directly, there is a risk that market may come down in the next 1 month. Okay, and say 20%, 10% it might come down. So to avoid this, what you can do is you can invest every means you put 1 lakh into liquid fund, and you can transfer that. Okay, every 10,000 every month will be getting transferred to equity fund, so that your risk will be for 10 months period. Okay, instead of 1 month, it will be 10 months. Over 10-month period, it will get invested. So your SIP doesn't give you return. Actually, what gives you return? Market gives you return. Okay. What SIP does then? Why we, everybody will say, okay, invest in SIP through SIP. SIP will do the cost averaging. It will keep your cost down, and when market goes up, you will get the return. Okay, because it is possible that, okay, I am investing whole one shot, and in the next 3 months market comes down. So in that case, I will be always at down only, waiting for, okay, market to come for that level, because again I am not investing. So it will avoid that. It will average the cost. So that is very important. Now in mutual fund, there are a lot of fund types. As far as investment is concerned, equity is one type, debt is other type, Then hybrid, that is mixture of both debt, equity, as well as even gold also is there. And in the hybrid category, combination of equity, debt, and gold is there. Even international funds are also there. Okay, so you can invest in Nasdaq companies. Okay, or you can invest in, say, Russia or Brazil. Those kind of funds are also there. Okay, so those are the options available. As far as equity is concerned, there are sectoral indices like say infrastructure sector, pharma sector, banking, etc. So all those things, sectoral investments funds are there. Index-based funds like Sensex-based funds are there, and there are other mid-cap funds, etc. are there. So these are basically index-based funds are basically called passive investment, passive funds, because they are having less expense ratio, because mutual funds experts are not needed in this, because investment is done as per index composition. Okay, and how much return you get. Suppose you invest in Sensex fund, whatever returns given by Sensex, same returns will be replicated. Of course, there is slightly error, because slightly error will be there of investment because of that, but it will be almost similar returns you will get. Then scheme type, open-ended, closed-ended. Generally, open-ended schemes one should prefer, and generally most of the 90%, 95% of the schemes are open-ended now. Options on scheme type, basically there are three types of option: growth option, dividend reinvestment. So now anyway dividend is taxable even from mutual fund. So growth option one should take. As far as dividend from mutual fund dividends are actually not a, there is a difference between company dividend and mutual fund dividend, because mutual fund dividends are actually we are getting from our own pocket. Basically, if you get the dividend, your NAV will come down, and that dividend distribution tax is there, then again that also will go. Now in that case, dividend distribution tax will not be there, but you will be charged. It will come into your your income as that dividend. So accordingly, you can choose the option. So normally one should choose the growth option. There is very important thing. Everybody should know this, and that's why I'm covering this. In normal case, mutual funds are having regular plan. Okay, regular plan. Wherein you invest through your distributor, etc., and he gets the commission also. Okay, and that every scheme has got that regular plan, and other one is direct plan. In direct plan, what happens? Same scheme, okay, same scheme, but there is a direct plan. Direct means you are directly dealing with the mutual fund. What will happen if you are directly dealing with mutual fund? The expense ratio will be lower. Okay, so expense ratio in normal case, if it is 2.5, in case of direct plan, it will be 1.5. So every year, expense ratio is every year. So every year you are saving 1%. So just imagine if you are having, say, investment for 15 years. So with direct plan, you can get that extra return. And initially I have shown you the calculation. Even 1% of extra return every year can make wonders. So this direct plan, always one should choose the direct plan instead of regular plan. If you are which scheme to select, which scheme to invest. If you don't know, then in that case you have to go through distributor, because if you don't know anything, then who will guide? He will guide, and if he guides, then he should get his whatever work he is doing. He naturally he will be going through regular plan. He will be guiding through regular plan only. So if you are doing, then you can opt for direct plan and maximize your return. Now, in case of mutual fund, you can check various things like returns, expense ratio, 3-year, 10-year, 5-year, etc. And expense ratios also you can check for various mutual funds. Portfolio compositions you can check for various mutual funds. Size of funds you can check. Category, whether it is small cap, mid cap, large cap, etc. Investment blend, whether it is growth oriented, value oriented. Alpha, what is alpha? Alpha is basically every mutual fund has to say, okay, I will be beating the Sensex, so I will earn more return than Sensex. That will their statement. So what is their benchmark? Benchmark is Sensex. So if Sensex has given 10% return and this fund has given 15%, then 5% is that alpha which that fund has generated. You can check whether that particular mutual fund category, how much it has given return. Say like suppose a fund is mid cap fund, then you can check, okay, all mid cap funds category has given how much return. If fund is saying, okay, I have given 15% return, whether it is good or bad, 15% is good. But if category average is 20%, means all other funds average is 20% and your fund has given 15%, then that is not good, right? So all these things you can check. And where you can check, there is valueresearchonline.com. There are some website, morningstar.in. Money Control is also there. Money Control also gives that kind of information. There is, for mutual fund, you can go to AMFI also. AMFI is basically Association of Mutual Funds in India. So that is their association. So that there also you can get the mutual fund information. So whether you can come to know whether mutual fund sahi hai ya nahi. So this is what. Then you can get information. From where you can get information? There are a lot of information, means a lot of things where information is available. One is exchange websites. So website will give you a lot of information. Say in this case BSE website. So a lot of information you can get from price information, because all the things are disseminated through exchange website relating to companies, etc. So you can get trade information like prices, volume, etc. And you can get corporate information like quarterly results, shareholding pattern, etc. In real time or announcements are there, that also you can check. And personal portfolio you can create watch lists, etc. These kind of things are also available. Trade verification facilities also available on website. You can get even annual reports, etc. A lot of things are available, and it is available as tab also, as app also. So that way you can get information. Other than that, you can get information from newspaper, business newspapers like Economic Times, Business Standard, etc. Business Line. So all these business newspapers as well as news channels, business news channels, you can get the information. So you can watch that. But of course, there is one very important thing here is you should not see. Basically, they are there to run the channel or this thing. So don't see. If they are saying, okay, you buy this for this at this rate and sell this at this rate, then that is for their this thing they are telling for their channel to But ideally, what you should do is very important. It is your investment decision. One important thing I want to tell you is that there is difference between investment and trading. Okay, as far as trading is concerned, you or day trading, etc. I don't know, means I'm not saying whether you do trading or whether you do investment, but one thing very clear is that if you do trading, okay, then if you do investment, you will get return over a long term, of course. If you do trading, I don't know whether you will get return or no, but your broker will definitely get the commission, because that is there. So you have to be aware of this thing. That's it. What are the precautions basically we should take while doing the business? Basically, you should deal with only SEBI registered broker or any other intermediary. You should deal with the broker. You should pay to the broker. You should receive money. You should from broker's account. You have to pay to broker's account, etc. should through banking channels only. Don't follow blindly to investment tips. You get a lot of investment tips, etc. Don't follow those blindly. Study study and then invest. Don't blindly do any investment because it may be just for pulling you or for other vested interest they may do that. Diversify your investment in multiple asset classes. Don't invest only in one asset class, etc. You can diversify in multiple asset classes. Understand the risk associated with each asset or product. Suppose some are dealing in say derivative or so these are these are hedging products. So you should be aware that what you are trading is for what purpose and what are the risks. You may lose the capital also if you are dealing in these things. So you should be aware and then only you can take the decision. Stay away from Ponzi schemes. This is very important because there are various schemes. If you have money, then a lot of people will tell you, okay, invest in this scheme. Some certain chain schemes are there, etc. Just beware of these schemes. And actually, if you see money, like suppose somebody is giving you unrealistic return. Suppose somebody is saying, I will give you 30% return. Then you should something should click in your mind. Okay, 30% return is not possible. If you get 30% return, that is very good. But what is the guarantee? How he will get that return? And sustainable basis. Okay, 1 year you may get that much return. Next year you may lose your capital only. So that is very important. Because see, if you lose money, it is very difficult to get it back. There may be some people may get some part of it, but it's very difficult as far as even the regulators also, because एक बार गया तो गया. इसके लिए if your money is yours, so you should be very careful as far as investment in these schemes, etc. Don't invest with borrowed money in capital market. This is very important because you may attempt to invest the borrowed money, and that is very risky because market you can't predict the return on short term or medium term. So this is very important. Then there are no guaranteed returns. That is, I have showed you how volatile market is. So there are no guaranteed returns in the market. So this is then avoid emotions. This is very important because sometimes you sell in the panic, or at the height of the market you buy because you are greedy. So these emotions you keep away when you invest. So this is what from my side I tried to add some value to your thinking about investment. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I can answer this. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We have one question from Ronnie Fernandez. He asked, can you share some ratios we need to keep an eye on? What is the best tolerance for these?
Okay. Ratio in the sense, it depends on basically see, there are a lot of ratios, like I told you one of the few ratios, like debt equity ratio or certain liquid ratio, current ratio, etc. But it depends on from what angle actually you are looking at that company. So in depth you can study those ratios. There is earnings per share shows you that how much company is earning. Say 10 rupee share is there. For that 10 rupee share, if earning per share is say 3 rupees, that means on that 10 rupee face value share, you are getting 3 rupees, company is getting 3 rupees in the last year it has got. So that will show how much return it is, how much profit it is earning. So it depends. Now this is profitability ratio. There are stability ratios. There are various types of ratios. So you need to study according to your what is your objective, and accordingly you can study those ratios. Basically, what is price earning? Price earning is price to earning. So you will come to know if price earning ratio is high, that shows that the earnings are say 10, but price earning is P ratio is say 20. That means it is quoting at 20 to the earnings. If it goes up, that means the company is more valued. Okay, sometimes it is risky, but sometimes it is said that okay, it has to be more valued because it has got that much very good business. So there is no hard and fast rule that okay, this means good or this means bad. But
yes, sir. I know we have more questions coming on the chat box.
Yeah.
So we have Braun, who is a certified financial planner. He's part of BCBA. And his question is, what are emerging investment trends in 2021 and the future period?
Yeah. Basically, our the thing is investment trends. What we see, basically market, if you see, has gone down substantially and then recovered also substantially. In fact, not only recovered, it has gone up then after, because when market came down, it came down from 40,000 around 40,000 level, and before that it was it has that high of 43,000 something. Then in that case, means that from that level, it is now around 50,000. So it has even gained now substantially. And from this level now, Corona, that time Corona was there, and now also Corona is there. It has not gone away. But of course, there are various things which has happened during that period. And very important thing is actually basically how economy is faring. That is very important. And now market is going up probably because it is seeing that okay, economy is now reviving. So that may be the reason for the markets going up, because now vaccinations has also started. So economy will not be having any much problems, or it is recovering. So that may be the message. But actually, as far as market is concerned, the market generally discounts the future. So sometimes it discounts 6 months down the line, sometimes it even more, or some part of it discounts. So market is not only depending on current situation, but the future. So
yes,
depending on that, I feel the market will do well over a period. Of course, short-term volatility will be always there.
Thank you, sir, for your elaborate answers. I hope Braun and Ronnie, you have got your answers. We have a final question here. Is copycat investing good idea? It's from Nihilus.
Very good question. Actually, a lot of people are doing copycat investment. They do like, if say, if Mr. RK is doing this much investment in this company, I will also do. But actually, it is very risky because you don't know when he has invested, at what price he has invested. Suppose he is having portfolio of 10,000 crore and he has invested, say, 10 crore into particular company. It is very negligible or minuscule part of his total investment corpus. And how much investment you are doing as part of your investment corpus, that is also very important. Secondly, after investing, when he is exiting, you don't know. Okay, you don't know. You will come after some time when, so that is never a good idea. Another thing is his idea behind any investment, or anybody's idea behind any investment may be different. So he may be doing for just stability, whereas you may be looking at capital appreciation, anything. So, it is not a good idea. Yeah.
You're absolutely right, sir. Even though I don't know much about financial and investment, from what I hear, I could say that it is developing a personality, and so it is like some are naturally good at it and some have to develop it. So we have a poll to play. Nilesh, please can you run the poll?
Yeah, just to understand what we have learned from the session, very basic question. Investment in shares and mutual fund are safer than investments in PPF, that is Public Provident Fund. So just a simple question. let's see what we have understood from this, whether this statement is true, false, or you're not sure.
That's a very interesting one.
Interesting question. Yeah.
We are checking if everyone knows, concentrating.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah. Ajay, ask me.
Yeah. Sir, actually, basically, the share market. Hello.
Yeah. Tell me.
Share market is a reflection of economy, and for so many years, I think government has failed in many policies like GST, demonetization. There is a lot of unemployment, and many factories, shut down, and it has affected many industries like hotel industry or real estate. But yet we see a rise in the market. Now, how do you see this? This is a basic technical adjustment, or you see a good future in economy, Indian economy? Your views?
Actually, what you are saying, there are various aspects. See, basically, what Sensex or index comprises of is only say 30 companies or whatever number of companies. These are big companies generally. So sometimes it is possible that Sensex may not reflect the or other even index which is having big companies may not reflect the other indices which are small companies. So there may be different. So market breadth may be different than the Sensex or Nifty breadth. So that is possible because big companies or larger companies generally survive all the even economic problems also, and smaller companies cannot sustain that. So that is also there, and so that's why sometimes it happens that Sensex has given, Sensex is rising, but other companies are falling. That kind of scenario also we have seen a lot of times, and that is fact also sometimes. Of course, if economy improves, then in that case the small companies or medium companies, they do better than the large companies because it is. But at the same time, when it is going down, at that time these companies will be worst affected. So this is very important thing which I want to tell.
Yes.
So,
results have come.
Yeah.
Yes.
So luckily we are on positive side.
Yeah.
So majority of the people have said it's false, and it is really false. Sir, you want to elaborate on this?
Yeah. Actually, this is simple thing is that PPF is basically safe investment. It is government scheme, and it gives returns which is coming from government. Almost it is safe, and though return is not fixed that you will get this much interest, but it is safe as far as capital is concerned, as well as interest also you will get slightly here and there that they may reduce slightly. It is tax free also, in fact, the interest. So that much is there. And as far as mutual fund and shares, of course, shares is the riskiest investment. Mutual fund also, what we are talking about, mutual fund equity part is also it gives higher returns, but as far as safety is concerned, it is on low because shares are not safe investment. There is a risk element, and you may lose capital. So that's why it is not safety. It is not safe. As far as safety is concerned, investment in mutual fund as well as shares, they are having. Basically, it is the statement is false because of that, because it is risky investment.
Yes, you had specially mentioned PPF and Sukanya Samruddhi to be the safest ones.
Yes.
And you have explained that since it is from the government. Thank you, sir. And thank you everyone who have attended. To close and to thank the speaker, I invite Faiz, who is our committee member, to offer the vote of thanks.
Yes, excuse me, Bestie ma'am. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Excuse.
Yes,
Robert,
sir.
Excuse
yes,
me.
Robert. Yes, Robert, sir.
Yes, Robert, sir. Boliye.
Please. Nilesh sir, can I? Hello.
Robert, sir.
I want to ask. बोलो.
तुमचा आवाज ब्रेक होता है.
हाँ निलेश.
नाही आवाज ब्रेक होतोय तुमचा.
So your voice is breaking. मुझे लगता है कि कुछ इंटरनेट का इश्यू है. और अगर आपको अभी पूछना है तो आप इनका नंबर नोट कर सकते हैं. Yeah. So Pius. Yeah. Sorry रॉबर्ट सर, हम आपको म्यूट कर रहे हैं क्योंकि आपका कनेक्शन ठीक नहीं है. And Pius, please go ahead, dear.
Okay. Thank you, Besti. Thank you very much, Yogesh sir, first of all, for giving your valuable time and explaining us and clearing our doubts regarding shares, investment, the risk factors, and the precautions to be taken while investing. Thanks once again. Thanks the working committee members for working so hard and making this meeting a success. Thanks to the guests who have given a valuable time by joining us in our meeting. And at the last but not the least, William Almeida sir for suggesting Yogesh sir as today's speaker. Thank you once again, Yogesh sir. तुमचे फार फार आभार. तुम्ही आलात आणि आमच्यासाठी वेळ दिलात. अमूल्य वेळ देऊन आमच्या बरोबर चांगल्या प्रकारे गाईड केला आम्हाला. त्याबद्दल आम्ही once again thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity to talk on this topic.
Your way of explaining was very simple and clear, so even a novice like me understood about mutual fund and investments. Thanks a lot, sir, for gracing this occasion with your knowledge and with your experience.